Okay, so I've had the PlayStation Portable for about a month now, I want to say, and I definitely have some really strong opinions about this device, and I want to give you all the cons and pros for this. I want to start off with the cons first. And this is number one and number two. This is first the charging ports and the headphone jack. They're kind of difficult to reach. I don't like, they're like way deep in there, and you have to kind of, dig in there. I don't like that at all. So the location of the USB-C charging port and also the headphone jack is just, I don't like it in that location. I know some people do because it's better for their cables not wearing out and being bent and things like that, but I'd much rather have it at the top. Or if you're gonna put it at the bottom, put it on this part of the screen, like put it right here. That would have been a much better spot for me anyway, at least comfort-wise, in order to access those. And I do want to also note that everything I say, this isn't in any kind of order, it's just all put together. Next would be that you cannot connect any wireless headset you want. You can only use the proprietary Sony ones that are out, which is a bit of a disappointment. They're expensive too. I would have loved to have any Bluetooth headset I want to connect to this, and unfortunately I cannot, so that was a bit of a disappointment to not be able to do that. Whatever, but I mean, I guess you could still use any wired headset you want at that point. Next up would be that you can't use any apps. So what I mean by that is, say I want to stream like Amazon Prime or Netflix or something like that, I'm actually unable to. So I have to, I'll show you what it says. You try to open it and it says can't display this on the screen. The screen contains content that cannot be displayed using a remote play. It's probably a rights issue. It could also be a lag issue. Maybe it just won't play very well since this is all wireless. But it is a little bit of a disappointment. It'd be nice to use apps on here. Even the browser would have been cool to be able to use on this. Unfortunately, you can't, so that's something to know. Next up would be that the wireless PS5 experience is laggy and bad quality graphics. I'm connected to I have two PS5s. It's connected to the wireless one right now, and I'll show you the quality. Like, that looks pretty good. The quality of that look right there. And then this doesn't look too bad. I'll lower this all the way so I'm getting copyright strikes. But the quality of it doesn't look that great, and I can feel it. It doesn't feel as smooth as it would if I was playing right on it. It's definitely better as a wired experience. I probably would say if you only have a wireless PlayStation 5, you don't have a way to hook it up to your router in terms of it being wired, I would say disregard the whole buying of this. I mean, you can see it's playable. It's playable, don't get me wrong, but it's not anything that you're gonna be super proud of and say like, oh, this is definitely the right decision I made. I think a lot of you would end up saying it's not. You'll get more lag potential, and your lag might be a lot worse than I have, right? Mine is playing pretty good. The graphics don't look amazing, especially when I know it's a 1080p 60 hertz display. I play in 4K on my PlayStation 5, but still, it's just not a great experience wireless. I would definitely not do it. It's gotten better as time's gone on. They put in some updates for this, and it has improved, but it's still not anything I would want to do wireless on this. Definitely not. Speaking of streaming games, because that's how this works, it streams games from your PlayStation 5. I wish you could store the games locally. I know it would increase the price and probably the weight of this device, and the battery life would probably be worse. There's things that are negative about it. But honestly, I would have much rather been able to store games on this. It would have been, for me, a better experience overall. And I would have appreciated more. You wouldn't always have to need an internet connection to use it like you do now, if that was the case. So a little bit of a disappointment, but I understand why they did it. It just would have been nice to at least have the option to be able to store these games locally or have another version of this, if so. Next would be the speakers on this are pretty mid. They are nothing to write home about. Not very impressed with the speakers at all. Kind of tinny sounding, and they're kind of just not very impressive. If that'd probably be the best word I could probably use, is that it's just not impressive. Let's talk about all the things that I like about the PlayStation Portable. Price, 199 bucks, perfect price for this device. I mean, obviously people are, well, you go lower than that, you go 150 or 100 bucks for what you're getting, and that's untrue, especially for what you're gonna get in this, especially all the positive things I'm gonna mention. So price, I think, is actually pretty good after using this for a bit. I like how you can access all your games from anywhere on the PlayStation Portal with your PlayStation 5. So obviously you need a PlayStation 5 and then you need a PlayStation Portal if you're gonna do this experience that I'm showing you, or you can use a phone or a tablet and get the PlayStation app. But ultimately this is probably the best experience you'll get, and I'll go through that in a moment. But ultimately this is so cool that you can access all of your games on here and play them from anywhere in the world. That's a really, really cool experience. You can play these locally, meaning on the same Wi-Fi, or you can play them over a hotspot anywhere in the world, or some other person's Wi-Fi and stream it to your house. So it's really amazing what you can do with this in terms of playing your games anywhere. Vibrating controls are amazing on this. I am blown away. It really gives you that PlayStation 5 experience. If you're used to PlayStation 5 controllers, this gives you that same experience, the amazing vibrations, the feeling. It gives you all of that. Like right now, I could just feel the crazy vibrations on there. It's amazing. It's really, really great experience, and that's part of the reason you'd want to get this over, say, something like just a regular, getting a PlayStation controller and playing it on your tablet or something. You might not get that same vibration experience. It's really, really cool experience. You know, is it $200 worth it? Maybe not, in terms of, you know, should you pay 200 bucks just to get this versus just using a controller and your phone or your tablet? Maybe not, but it's still a really, really cool experience to be able to get and experience this overall. Wired Ethernet PS5 is completely playable and responsive. I'm now on my wired PlayStation 5. To me, the graphics look a little bit better. The controls are definitely feeling better. It looks better. The frame rates are better. Everything's about it is definitely better. So I would definitely say, if you're on the fence of buying one of these, make sure you have a PS5. Make sure it's wired like mine is right now on my other PlayStation 5. And I think you'll really be happy with the experience that you're able to get with it overall. Obviously, you're probably going to want some good Wi-Fi as well, but overall, just the experience is absolutely amazing with when it's wired. I'm very happy with it. The screen is beautiful and it's a great size. It's 1080p, 60 hertz display. I believe it's 8-inch display if I'm not mistaken, and it gets really nice and bright. It's just a great looking display. Very happy with the colors and the angles that you can use with it. It's really nice. So I've been happy with that as well. The other part that I love about this is it's pretty light. It's a little over a pound, and you don't really get hand fatigue, especially if you're holding it like this. Now, if you're holding it up a little bit, you might get some hand fatigue, but otherwise it's comfortable. I love the PlayStation controller. It's my favorite controller to have. It's responsive. I love the vibrations. The screen, when you hold it like this, feels balanced and nice. It just doesn't feel like a really heavy gaming system. And that probably also goes along with the fact that you're streaming games and not playing them locally. If you add some of those things in there, you might have some issues where it's going to be a problem with weight. But since this is only streaming the games, you're going to get pretty good weight dispersion with it. The battery life is, I think, really good. Now, if you max everything out, you probably get 4.5 hours. But otherwise, you should be in that 5 to 6 to 7 hours of battery life with this. I'm really happy with that. And then obviously you can charge it and play at the same time. Bring a portable battery with yourself. But otherwise, yeah, as long as you got internet, and you're gonna have good battery life with this. So very impressed with all the battery life things. And then also with battery life, the standby time is awesome. This thing will go to sleep, and I still have tons of battery life left, if not full. It's awesome. So standby time, using it, all that battery life mambo jumbo has been really impressive. Updates, often I've had this again for, what has it been, a month I said? And I've had 2 or 3 updates already, and I know it's been out longer than that. So it's that's one of the nice things about PlayStation is they're always putting updates out. They're always improving things. I just got a performance update yesterday that seemed to fix a little bit of the lag, not completely, but if you get lag. So that was nice to see with that as well. And then, you know what? If you're a parent and you have kids, they eventually will steal the television, and you might want to play video games. This will still allow you to play your video games while they watch television, because this won't turn the TV on when you play your PlayStation. You can use it right on here. So it's great for parents or kids or anybody that wants to play video games, but they don't want to lose the television experience, because they don't need to use the television. They can play it right on here. So I love that about this as well. So I would say that the pros outweigh the cons, but there are some cons, and obviously should be noted. And you can't bring this on an airplane and play, most likely, because you need good Wi-Fi, and it's not going to be great Wi-Fi on an airplane. The latency is going to be just terrible. And even with, wired is great. It's not completely perfect, but it's good enough to where you can definitely play a first-person game, or as you can see, I'm playing a multiplayer game. I'm playing Fortnite right now, and I can play it around here. It looks good. It performs pretty good as well. So all those things are fine and dandy with me, and I think it's a very impressive device at $200. I just, obviously, when and if they come out with a second generation of this, I would like to see some of the things that I would want improved in general with it. So let me know your thoughts on it. Is there stuff I missed or that you like more so than I do? Let me know in the comments down below. Have a great day, and we'll see you down the road. Peace.